Head pahonies. What do you mean I watch dang pods? Well, that out of the way, yeah, so this is a video talking about a bunch of headphones and stuff, and basically the whole idea behind this, the whole premise I was doing here is just that, I already have some headphones, but I wanted to check out some other kinds of headphones, mostly just different headphone types, because, I've got some headphones now, and I think as far as these kinds of headphones, I'm probably pretty well satisfied. So let's kind of just start with looking at those first, just so you have an idea of where I'm starting. So here we have my main headphones I use for kind of everything, which are they'll probably say on the side, the Sony MDR 7506. These headphones are just really good. I'll say they're studio monitors. So basically, what that means is that they are meant to try and give you really neutral sound. They're trying to give you the same kind of sound. They're outputting the same sound that's being put into them. Basically, is the idea. And I guess this design has been around since I think the 70s or something. This is like a pretty old style of these, but you can still get new I was gonna say copies. You can get new whatever products of these builds, whatever. They're still making these today. You can still buy them now, and they're probably somewhere in the range of $80 to $100 is what I usually see them go for, which I think is pretty good for I can use them for it's good for editing especially. And it's nice for listening to music or watching movies or playing games or, a lot of this stuff. Basically, anything where you want to hear the way the mastering is actually done. If they have something that sounds good when it was mastered, it's going to sound good when it's if it sounds good when it was mastered, basically, in the first place, it'll sound good through these. Generally speaking, that's pretty true. So I really use these pretty much for everything that I can. I also have... I can get these in the damn shot. I've got these Sennheiser Drop Plus EPOs PC 38X. This is actually a headset, as you can see. I didn't pick the best lighting for this shot, did I? But most of the lights all over on the other side of the shot. But yeah, these are really good for special use cases here, because I will admit these are $200, and the only reason I got them is because, well, they were half off with my gift cards and stuff. So I only paid about $100 for them, and for that price, they've been fitting in pretty well into my system. Basically, funny enough, this MacBook Air under here is kind of the reason I wanted these, because it only has 2 ports on it. It has 2 USB-C ports and then an audio jack. So by using these, I'm able to plug this in with, just one, if I can get that over here from the stupid shoestring cable. I can plug it in with one end. Well, they make a shorter thing with, this. You don't have to use the 2. I have this thing bringing it back into 1. They also come with another cable that makes it just 1, but that's not as long, so I hackneyed this together. But anyway, yeah, these are what I use to kind of achieve that, so I can have a really good mic, along with having, and good audio for that, while still having, my ears, listening to the stuff on here as well, and keep, the ports free for charging in a camera, because the camera on this thing is not great either. And it's been really good for my Discord calls. It's been great, especially since these are open backs. So what I can do is when I'm playing games with my friends, on a Discord call, I can just have these in, and I can actually hear them talking to me and everything through here. And then since they're open back, the sound of the game from my TV can bleed through, and so I can hear that without having to pipe that audio into my computer or something to get it back into my headphones like closed backs. Plus, these are super comfortable, again, probably because they're open back, so the air actually just flows through here better. You can actually, yeah, if you can get a better look there, yeah, see that? Yeah, it's all the pores and stuff. Yeah. It just doesn't get as hot and sweaty in the ears in there. It doesn't have a whole lot of pressure on there. The material is very soft and nice here, so it's all just very comfy, and I can wear them for long periods of time without it getting too hot or uncomfortable or pinching my ears or anything. So they've been very good for that. It's just that the sound I don't really care much for. The flavor of sound, as it's called, it's just instead of getting soundstage like open backs are supposed to give you, either I don't know what that really is supposed to sound like, or or these don't do it. I'm not sure which, but I know that all I've really noticed is that when I listen to music on these particularly, it's just like it feels like some things are too quiet and some things are too loud, and I just don't like it. So I don't use these for music or anything, or like, I use it as a headset for my Xbox sometimes because it can work for that, but yeah, they're mostly for Discord calls, and they still have been working pretty well for that. They still get a lot of use. And then I recently got these. These are the these are AirPods 4. These are actually the ones with active noise cancellation, even though I don't use that, but it was a gift, and that's a cool, feature to have. If I were to get my own, I would just, if these broke and I wanted to replace them, I probably would, but I would probably get the ones that are like $50 cheaper without the active noise canceling they're not really using anyways. But the point is, these things have been pretty fantastic, even though I've only had these for a little while. I'm using these pretty much as the main thing that I use when I'm listening to stuff on my phone. I've used it so much that, because they're so comfortable and such good sound, I've used these basically not just on my, like walks home from work and like long car ride type situations. I've also listened a bit on my breaks at work and even a little bit at home, just because they sounded so good and I was so excited about them. It was just fun to pop them in and listen. They sound really good. They're really comfortable, really easy to use. They work with my phone super well. Yeah, I'm just incredibly happy with these, and these have become and they fit in the pocket super easily. These have just easily become my go-to for, the shove it in my pocket and listen to audio off of my phone because I have YouTube Music and whatever. They're very, very good, very happy with them. So anyways, you're probably wondering again, the point of this video is want to say that that out of the way, I'm looking for headphones that aren't necessarily quite like these. I'm looking at different types to see as a proof of concept, because the ones that I got here are all pretty cheap. They're not really the expensive versions, the fancy luxury versions of these kinds of headphones. So what you're going to be seeing here is me looking at them as a proof of concept type of thing, where is this the kind of thing that I would like if it was, built better and had better sound. That's probably where we're going to be sitting. And we're going to test some of the microphone stuff too. I'm going to do my best to describe the audio of the particular things and all that stuff while we're going through, just because that's still kind of fun and interesting, and telling you the prices of those things. So yeah, that's the whole plan and the goal of this video. If you think it's interesting, you can stick around. You can check the timestamps, whatever, to skip around if you want. And I think we're just going to kind of go a little bit in order here. I'm going to try to order this for each section to kind of look at each one of these. And we're going to go from probably the most normal to the most weird. It's kind of what I thought would be the most fun way to do it. So let's just get rolling with that. So these are first. I would unbox them, but they just came in a plastic bag, so there's not really anything to unbox. They just came in a plastic bag, and this thing was tied around itself for the cable. That was about it. And these are they're from, if I can pronounce this, I had to pull up the thing to see. They're from Junfamilee. Junfamilee. Yeah, these are retro, full title, retro over-ear headphone vintage feelings underwire headphones, retro lightweight earphones, hi-fi stereo earphone headset, headphone for most mobile phones, playback, P-Vices headphones, in parentheses, or sorry, parentheses, orange. Yes, I just also now realized it says P-Vices. It doesn't say devices. It says if you can read that, it says P-Vices. So I didn't make that up. I didn't misspeak that myself. That one was on them. And as you can see there, as you can see, that these are $6. So the two things that really drew me to this were the orange foam and the $6. I didn't realize they would be this small. I guess I didn't realize. I just didn't notice. I assumed they would be larger. These are quite small. But the point of these is over ears. They're something that I used to use back when I just, they came with like my Walkman and stuff like that. They usually become something like over ears. So it's been a while since I've used them. And I was going to I wanted to see how over ears were today. And this, I guess we'll see what I found out right now. Well, don't I look amazing? So Yeah, here they are in all their glory. And they do, like, they're labeled left and right, so that's good. I like that they've done that. And I still don't mind the orange. They don't fit amazingly well. They kind of warp around your head. They're a little small. You can adjust them, but they like to slip out of adjustments somewhat easily too. And I assume that was bend at whatever shape your head is, I guess, because it's so lightweight. These are, I'm a little torn, okay, because I mean these are just basic headphones. They're over your ears. And like the sound bleeds out like crazy because again it's only sending sound out of like this little bit of like the thing, and the audio from is just going to bleed out everywhere from the back of this, and some of that will shoot out into your ears a little bit but not a ton, because there's not enough backing on there even for this much. I feel like they're probably better as kids headphones, honestly. That's probably what they're more designed for, but they're $6. And also, I mean, like, the sound is okay. So the sound is basically like bass is barely there. You can tell it's there when you get them in the right spot on your over your ears. It's there. It's just it's pretty low in the mix. Mids are a little bit there. They're kind of, you can hear them, and it's mostly you're gonna hear the treble, the high stuff is gonna really shoot through, and it's at least not tinny. Okay, I will say that the stuff does sound fairly clear, but it just the sound quality is not great. So, I mean, you are getting cheap headphones for this that do function. They're not super uncomfortable either. They don't like really hurt or anything. They're not like nice, but they're not terrible. They're very light. You're not gonna really notice a whole lot. I mean, like this string down here. If I can pinch it with my chin here. Look at this. Boom. You can just peel this down. It's the thinnest thing imaginable. The cord will go pretty much all the way down, I think, to the very plug. So you can, peel that easier than you can do a fucking pull and peel Twizzler. I can't imagine these will last a long time, but for $6, again, it's hard to really argue with what you're getting. And once you adjust to the quality of the sound, the type of sound you're getting, it's actually not that bad. Which is something I didn't think I'd be saying. But yeah, the sound is actually okay. I wouldn't recommend these in particular for anyone, but I wouldn't say to deathly avoid them either. That's kind of where I'm sitting with this. So I'm a little surprised, but that I could adjust to these. And again, they kind of are like a blast from the past of like the headphones that just kind of came with stuff that I used to, like Walkmans and stuff I used to have. And I think the proof of concept for me here is that if I had a pair that was better built, better fitting, and better sound, I think that I could probably still live out of them because they are kind of nice to have if you want to be able to be a little more aware of stuff around you, a little more comfort. Your ears don't get as sweaty because they're a bit more open. You can easily like pull off and listen to stuff around you quick and put them back on. There are some conveniences with them as well as being cheaper headphones. So if you can find like a decent pair, probably for starters, they probably would be good starter headphones before you get something crazy, like more serious or more specialized, I guess. Yeah, I'm a little on the on ears. I think are still okay. I'm not totally against them at this point. Even if I don't see much need for myself to go back to them, I could probably live out of them. I also, yeah, like I said, I really I didn't study the picture well enough. I guess I thought they were bigger. That's I mean, it looks a little silly like this. Yes, it's the headphones. Next up. Oh boy, yes, I had to do it. I had to do it. We've got the Onitoon. This looks weirdly like a sticker over this area. Did they call it something else before this? Onitoon, X25. I guess. It's a professional gaming headset. So amateurs, you would not be able to handle this headset, okay? And yeah, I mean, noise cancellation, really? Oh, microphone. Okay, well, okay. And it is, yeah, USB and 3.5 millimeter. Well, that's nice, actually. It's good. I had to get one of these because, like, I see everybody, everybody has tried them once, right? I'm like, I've never tried one. I really needed to try one of these out. And the RGB looked kind of cool on the thing. And, also, when I'm looking at this, they're supposed to be cat ear ones, but they don't look like cat ears on here, do they? Hold on. Am I crazy? The store page has them. Hello? Are they accessories we attach after the fact? These are like $30. $30, by the way. What about the back? Does that say anything about it? What the fuck is that? Okay, so I don't know why, like, a Five Nights at Freddy's thing is back here. I don't like it, though. See, it's focused on gaming, very timely. A lot of gamers are still using controllers that look exactly like this. Okay, right away, I'm seeing with the ears. So we do just, I guess, clip these on later. Let's get it on our nice suffocaty bag here. Or should I say suffocatty bag? Will that get demonetized? Well, here we are. We've got our lump of cable in our lovely headset. And, oh, this just looks, whoa, that feels decent. This actually might be kind of good for how useless it's going to be. Maybe it'll sound awesome and I'll actually want to use it. And I think these just kind of slide on. So you also have to kind of keep track of where your ears go. But, you know, we'll see how good the RGB looks. This whole size should probably be that. And I think the tubes kind of are too, so this might actually look even a little cooler than I was thinking it was going to look too. It's, is it bad that I'm actually kind of excited about this now? That it's here? It probably is. I'm probably just sad because it's like, this is probably going to sound the best out of all of them, isn't it? Isn't it? That's what I'm going to come away with. It's going to sound better than all the other ones. I'm never going to use it because I have all these other headphones that do basically the same kind of thing. Oh, jeez. Well, let's see. Before I judge, let's just see. Now. All right. So, best way to start this off is just to kind of go to the side here and like look at that to get it to sort of show you a bit more of like, yeah, the color there. Yeah. Right. So you get the lights are good. The look for that part is good. These, I don't know if I'm sold on them for me, but you know, you can remove them, so it doesn't really matter that much. But this actually, yeah, looks pretty good. I do like the general look of the headphones. Also, the feel is pretty good. Like, I mean, little wiggly might kind of fall off because of the self-adjusting headband. You can't like headbang too hard in these or anything, in case that was one of your plans. But like, other than that, they're pretty comfy. These, you know, go over your ears pretty well, and they're very padded and everything. Also, yeah, I like the little touch here. Even like the mic itself is like, ooh, it's lit. Like, I like that. It just, there's something kind of crazy about like plugging this in like a dark room, and it's like whoa, there's just light emitting from me. That's kind of crazy. I'll also say that I like. They're gonna kill some of the illusion here, I guess. The plug, because they have like this thing here, right? Like, it has the two ends for like headphone and microphone. It also comes with this part where you can just detach it, and then it's the combo. So it works for multiple things. You have the splitter. Now, initially I thought that the USB part was so you had another way to connect it, and so it would be like everything connects through this. Not so. This seems to only do lights. When I plug just this into my computer, the lights turned on, and there's no audio that I could get out of this as an audio device. But once I plugged the combo thing in, then I had audio. So I can use this with my phone and stuff and whatever, but not really with the light and stuff at the same time. I can also use it as a headset, tested it with my Xbox, again, I can use the headset, but I can't use the lights unless I have something external to plug in to make the lights go. I don't need those. But I guess, I don't know, it's an interesting choice to have that be just solely for the lights, which you can also decide to turn off anyways. So I don't know why they have a button to turn the lights off on the thing if the USB thing entirely controls that, because you can just not plug in the USB. Why would you plug in the USB and then turn the lights off? It'd be very situational. Like, I want to turn them off temporarily for a second, but I want to totally unplug the things, but it doesn't matter if you unplug them because there's no audio. It's just a light. I don't know. That's weird. You know, I do feel like I could probably, you know, I like the, like, you know, again, like the mic glows and like these little tubes glow. And I'm back in to keep looking at that. Like, yeah, you see the tubes up there glow. So I could, you know, take the cat ears off and look more manly. But the sound of these, okay, so that's probably what you're more interested in. So the sound of the headphones themselves, unsurprisingly, like I said, I like how they fit and everything. Also, unsurprisingly, they have bass because they're big and they go over your ears. Just like in that big drivers, they have a lot of bass. Like, they've definitely bumped the bass for these headphones. And what's weird is that they haven't done like the V sound where they also bump the top end too. It's like they kind of just bumped the bass. So like the higher stuff is still kind of loud anyways because it's high. But it's like weirdly quieter like in the middle too. Lots of stuff's just like quieter than the bass. So like the higher, like basically everything, like anything that's like around the middle is like pretty low, and higher stuff only like peaks up a little bit just by the natural, it's louder and you'll hear it more, the frequency thing. And so like on the one hand, it's kind of nice if you don't want to destroy your ears with super piercing like sound for like the high stuff. So you might not mind it. I don't hate it, but the problem is that it lacks that bite of having also like the edge of the high notes, right? You don't have like the piercing of like shrill like high notes, you know, piercing through there, or like the bright crispiness of like you know, of the drums, and you don't have the crunchiness of a guitar. Like, I don't know, like it's lacking that bit of like extra edge on it, and I kind of would like that there. I don't hate this, but I've been so used to like having that part of my music now too that it's hard to kind of go back to be like, so it feels a little dull without that. It's not quite as bright and shiny without the nice high end there, the crisp, clean high end. So, also the microphone sounds like this. All right, this is just a quick audio test. Talking into the microphone normally like I would any microphone. So we'll see if that does anything wacky, or if it sounds like normal or whatever. And not bad, but it is a wired thing. The only problem is, of course, air. I feel like it's very easy to breathe into this thing and it picks it all up. And I think that's maybe partly the design of it, but if I place it like a certain position, it's probably better instead of like super in my face. That might help, so my air isn't all going there, or like turning this maybe or something. I don't know, but yeah, I think the mic itself is good if you get the position down. So yeah, overall, I think it's fairly unsurprising what I'm saying about all this, because it's like, I don't know, there's at the core they're at the big headphones and a headset thing, and I like flashy lights, so. That's those. Which ears do you think I would look best in? Leave that in the comments. All right, so these are according to the page here, TWS wireless earbuds, in-ear headphones, music, earphones, stereo sound, Bluetooth 5.3 headset with mic, game, and music mode, waterproof, IPX7 fast charging. You can visit Daily Headset Store to get them, so maybe that's who does them. It looks like they're Daily 49. I don't know if that's the These are $20, by the way. Daily $4.49. I don't know if that's the name of the earbuds or if it's the name of the company. And yes, it has 100% original warranty. So this is no fake warranty. They didn't plagiarize somebody else's warranty. Yeah, this looks not super interesting for a lot of this stuff, but you know, I guess we'll open the box to see if there's anything worth commenting on with that. Oh no, I've damaged the case when opening them. The value. Oh, huh? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Here are the different ear tips for the sizes and things. The cable was weirdly on the bottom. So it does look like it's USB-C. So that's good. And I got this. Full disclosure, I really got this because they looked terrible. I don't need more Bluetooth earbuds, really. I've got really good ones now, and I've got ones that are backup ones that are probably nicer than this. But just looking at the case and the way these looked, if we can get a good shot of that with my terrible lighting here, just look at this. Wow, beautiful. I don't know. I didn't realize they would be shaped quite that way. So this huge thing is going to be sticking out of your ear. This huge, disgusting thing of plastic. It looks ridiculous, and it looks like this case will be not really pocket-friendly at all with all of the stupid angles and stuff. It's trying to look really cool, and actually I thought this was going to have, like, red and stuff on it, but maybe I picked the wrong one, or the picture lied. I don't know. So we'll go ahead and see how this goes. I think this also has, it says headset, so I assume it also has a microphone. So we'll check out what it sounds like, or I guess you'll hear about what it sounds like, and then hear the mic or whatever. We'll do the thing. All right, so I spent a little time with these, the Daily 49s, and we did a whole field tested it for a day, though I didn't listen to any games with this one, even though it was advertised as a gaming headset. I don't really like to use Bluetooth stuff with my games for some reason. I'm just like that. I'm gonna listen to that. I mean, I'd rather listen to it off the speaker on my TV or with direct headphones than with something like these. That's just how I am, and maybe you'll have a really good result with that if you do it. I don't know. I mostly listen to music and some YouTube and stuff, and yeah, it's well, sound-wise, I think these actually are a little weird because they're like, there's bass here. You can actually notice the bass. It's not like it's a lot of bass or like even necessarily as much as I'd want. But the thing is, like, there's like almost no mids in this thing, so the sound actually sounds very, I don't want to say tinny. It's not quite tinny, but it is very like hollow. It's very thin. It's missing like the mids, so it does kind of feel like you're listening to, like, you know, there is some bass under there, and then just weirdly a lot of like high stuff. It doesn't sound like super good, clear quality high notes of things. It's a little subpar there. So they do end up sounding like cheap with a bit of bass bumped in. Almost like the kind of sound you would hear if like you were hearing somebody else. Like if you're sitting next to somebody else listening to headphones or listening to a very small speaker, it would probably sound like this. But also then add in some bass, because you probably wouldn't get bass out of those. So it's weird. And just putting bass in doesn't really fix it either. So, yeah, I'll say that. Also, the microphone quality sounds like this. Okay, so as far as I know, this should be recording the audio out of the Daily 49 gaming headset earbuds. I don't know. I guess how to test these other than just talk. Basically like normal, I guess.
And only thing I'll mention about it during doing it is that it sounds a little weird because it blocks your ears, so you sound tinnier to yourself than you probably will in reality. But we'll see if it even sounds like anything on the actual recording. So this is what it sounds like, just talking on the things within jammed into your head.
which is, I mean, there's not a lot of background noise, I guess. They do that, but it's so hard to understand anything of what I'm saying in that. And I realize I don't speak the clearest. I'm a little mumbly. I get it. But very rumbly, bassy, and just kind of indecipherable. You can't really tell what's happening. I don't know if it's the settings are too high or if the audio is just too shitty or what for the clarity, but it's not good. It's not good. uh, the actual things themselves are smaller than I thought they'd be, so they don't look as ridiculous as I thought they would. Not that they look cool or like you won't notice them. Like, oh, I didn't know you had weird ass things. I thought you just had, dipshit earrings or something. No, these are my dumbass earbuds. They aren't real comfortable, but they do stay in decently well. I'll give them that because they have like this the way that you see they're kind of like big and bulbous there. So like they're very, I don't know, they'll go into your ear and like live there, and they have like the tips on them. They did have other tips that I could replace this with, but they were all like smaller, and these were still not like getting a good enough seal. So I don't know, like I think if I got them like, when I got them in just the right sweet spot, I could sort of get, more bass out of them. But even with more bass, the treble just wasn't really, that wasn't fixed on how good the treble sounds. I still didn't get any extra mids really either. So they just don't sound very good. Also, a general thing with my ears is that the seems like I can get stuff to fit in the left ear easier than the right one. They always want to fall out of the right. I don't know. So these aren't like super comfortable for me or anything either. But at least they stayed in my. Oh my god, I should wash those off better, huh? I should. Another reason I don't like to have the little tips on these things is because then it drags out all of this earwax. And also it plugged up my ear pretty good trying to fiddle with it in the first place too. So people say, "Oh, clean out your ears, or whatever." I'm like, yeah, maybe partly, but also you need some of that in there so you don't get other terrible things in your ears too. They're protecting them too, jackwad. So yeah, these are like not as horrible as I was like, thinking they would be, because I thought would be part of the fun. Like, oh, these are going to be terrible. I'm going to use them. They're just underwhelmingly like not good. And also the here I have the case with me because the case is something I want to talk about. So here's the case. We'll just toss these in here quick. It's actually kind of hard to keep the case open. And there. It's kind of. Am I doing the wrong way? The wrong way I am. I certainly am. And they sit in there, and you close them up, and this light goes on for a while and wastes some of your case battery. This case is not very good. In fact, I'm probably more upset with the case than anything else, because I get why they made the case look like this. They wanted it to look cool, because they wanted you to be like, oh, these are neat, these are cool, right? But let's compare them for a second to the case for the AirPods. You can see the AirPods case is smaller, right? It's smaller. It's also thinner. And both of those things are because the AirPods themselves are, they're tiny. They're smaller and thinner. So it makes sense that the case could be, this way compared to this. But the two things that this case does that this case doesn't really seem to do. One of them is that, look at this. It's round and smooth. This thing is freaking jagged and angular. That's a terrible design. That's going to be catching in your pocket. That's going to be poking against you whenever it presses against you. The back is like slightly smoothed, I guess. But that doesn't really compensate for the rest of it. So I don't know why that was just a bad design idea. And also, this thing is a lot more durable. This thing feels very cheap. I kind of doubt that this thing would even survive if you accidentally dropped it, grabbing it out of your pocket. You're out on the street. Oh, hits the pavement. I think this thing is going to crack. I think this is going to break from one drop. That's at least what it feels like to me. And the only other things I wanted to bring up besides that are a couple things I didn't notice till a little bit later here looking. So if you look on the back of the box here, Maybe you'll be able to read it, where it says, where it's applicable down here. Playback device with Bluetooth unction. I don't think it's a mother uckers uck with my shit situation. I think they just forgot to hit the key. And also, in the little wordage in here for the manual, you got the different earbuds, and it's like, oh yeah, those are the things. And there's the master earbud, which makes sense. I'm like, oh yeah, master earbud, great, because like it's the one that like you pair, it does the pairing and stuff. So like that's dependent on that one first, and the other one relies on it for that. Makes sense. Why does the other one gotta be the slave earbud? Why can't it just be like, the servant earbud, the minion earbud? Why can't it just be the earbud? Why does it need another qualifier? And why does the qualifier have to be slave? Why does it got to be so like aggressive and weirdly charged? But that's anyways. That's I mean like yeah, those are not. I don't want those. They weren't as fun as I thought they would be to check out either. But they're not as ridiculous as I wanted. Sorry, a little bit of a letdown, but I still put them in the video for you. And I don't want them because I don't. If I want to use things, I'm shoving in my ears. I'm just going to use my fucking sound peats still. So whatever. All right, this one's at least a little interesting here. You can see this is the Sarevile wireless mono headset. I guess I'm a little confused because the page listed it has a dongle. It has a USB dongle with it, but it also says it's Bluetooth. So does the Bluetooth just go to the dongle? And is that so? I don't know. Why would you do that if you're gonna have the dongle? Basically, it has a little wireless receiver thing for it. But basically, the thing with this is, oh, by the way, this was on sale for $50. It wasn't that big of a sale. Don't worry about it. Yeah. I don't know. Basically, I was kind of intrigued because it's a mono headset. There's not really much to look at around the package at all, huh? I guess I'll have to open it up to show you. Let's just do that quick. I like how it's immediately dirty, though. Got a book, got a cable. It actually is packaged pretty nicely in here. I mean, it's just plastic stuff in here, but yes. Here's our little dongle. How do we get you? Wow, that's really in there. Is that gonna come out? Oh my god. Well, believe me, it's right there. Wow. Packaged too well, you'll never get it out. So, oh, that does have a little heft to it. So, yeah, it is a mono headset. So you can like, oh, it has a little call button on it. Is that a button? It is. Oh, I'm not doing things, so it doesn't have battery in it to start doing crap. Clearly meant for making like calls and things, and mainly I was just kind of curious because I've never used, oh, that doesn't feel too bad, a headset before that was like a mono one with just one speaker on it. So it's still kind of like an on-ear thing too, I guess. But with a mono type thing, and it has this, and that's why I wanted to get this, is because instead of just getting a wired one, I wanted to get one that was like, this one was wireless, but it has like this dongle, so I'm like, maybe it'll have better performance because it sends to this rather than having to just use general Bluetooth. But if it's using Bluetooth to send to this, then is there really a need for this? I don't know. It seems like that would only be useful if you're plugging it into something without Bluetooth capability, I guess. So I don't know, and this is probably just the charging cable, and I don't know. You think they hid anything underneath here? I bet they didn't. Well, they sure did not. There's nothing. See, I didn't lie. I didn't make up. Nope, I'm hiding all of the treasure. No, it's well, let's see what it what it's like now. Alright, I kinda hate it. Alright, I'm just gonna say that right away. I kinda hate it. I get the idea, but like, this is open and this isn't. But the biggest problem with this audio, when you're listening like this, and I think it's regardless of anything to me, is that it will wear this ear out and this ear won't be, and it'll be uneven and it'll be weird because you'll take it off and it'll be like, oh, like I can hear again, right? Oh, I can hear. But like this ear is still like recovering from all the sound it was dealing with. Well, this one was fine. I hate it. I really don't like the way that comes off. Comfort wise though, not too bad. This thing actually isn't bothering me, you know, pushing into my head. That's actually fine. Um, Actually kind of interesting because you can, put this up, just have it be a headphone, but also you flip it around and I'll go the other way. So you can have it be on either ear, which is, I guess, good because it's mono. But the actual audio quality on here, which also like these buttons, I'm not going to use them ever really, but like they're pretty easy to access. I think they're good. Anyways, audio quality. Audio quality kind of sucks. It really is for voices. It's so you can listen to like calls. People can talk to you. That's it. So voices come in fine. Music is terrible because you want that in both ears anyways. You want that in at least stereo. But even so, it's like very, very bassy. Weirdly like overly bassy. So I guess in voices that'll probably boost that for like podcasts itself will make them sound very rich and bassy for you. It may even be too much for some of it. Some of the stuff I listened to for voices for YouTube stuff was fine, but music was just dreadful, just absolutely awful. And the mic sounds like this. This is just a quick audio test of the microphone on the mono headset Sarevile thing. This is what it sounds like, just talking into the thing, uh, as one would, and as I am one, as I do. That'll work, right? That works. And that's, I mean, bad because it's Bluetooth. If you have something like this, you probably would want one that's wired, so it will sound better with the audio. I realize that does tether you more, but like, the thing is that this has a receiver, right? But this is basically just a little like dongle thing to it just gets Bluetooth, right? That's all this is. Basically, instead of sending Bluetooth from this to your device, you send it from this to this. That's plugged in with USB. So like, I guess it's good for if you're plugging into something that doesn't natively have USB, or sorry, doesn't natively have Bluetooth. But like, how many things have that and will also recognize this for like an audio thing, just for USB audio, but not Bluetooth anymore is probably few things. Unless it's like some stuff is weird about it, and so this will trick it into thinking you have a USB thing and not a Bluetooth one, even though Bluetooth is how it's working. But the Bluetooth is a limiting factor, I think, and that it just sounds bad. It just says audio sounds crappy. And I don't like the way this ends up making my hearing uneven. And yeah, I don't like it. Yeah. Yeah, can you read this text up here? It's like insanely hard for me to read that. Um Hands free, ears free, sports free. I don't know if that means this is a new upgrade though. I don't know if that means that like you can't use it with sports. That's sure what sports free sounds like, which doesn't sound like a good thing to advertise. Like, hey, you don't have to use your hands on it. You don't have to use it. Whatever. Yeah, you don't have to use your hands. You don't have to use your ear. Well, you still have to use your ears. You still need to listen. Also, you don't even need to do sports. You can just use this when you're not doing sports like you usually are. You sports person, you. These were $36. And yeah, they're basically a thing of like they're Bluetooth, but the main thing is I wanted to check out this thing of like they can be earbuds when you want them to be, but then when you want you can retract those as well and make it this neckband kind of like shoulder speaker type thing. I was kind of interested in that. Again, I don't know if I would use this, but I won't know until I try, and so I got a cheap one to test out. And here's the lovely back of the box. I don't know if it will yield anything all that funny. I'll let you know in a second. Not Not particularly, no. I mean, there's the well, you can see the shadow. Great lighting shot. I really am regretting my lighting, but I already picked it, so we're sticking with it. The only thing I liked is, I guess, is like they say, widely compatibility. It's also got ergonomic shape stay at lightest weight. I don't know if shape stay is like a trademark thing they're saying or what. A lot of it is in another language. Also, this lady makes me think that you can use it with sports, so sports free. I don't know. It was a weird word choice. Let's crack into this thing. Oh, I should have said let's crack into this whore. Well, it's too late now. Oh, this seems like it's lovingly packed. We've got okay. There's that. And that's it. It's a bag in a box. And it weirdly is a like drawstring plastic bag. I've not exactly seen that before. That's kind of weird to have like I mean, I've seen like garbage bags that way, I guess, but not with like fabric like drawstrings on it. Here's my ear tips and the plug-in for that, and here is the neckband thingy-o. And these, I guess, they'll come out, and then how do you bring them back? Do you just hit a button to bring them back? I think. I may need the manual to figure out how I bring them back. Is it this? This thingy?
Power on. Pairing.
No. Oh God, no.
Power off.
Do not do that currently. Oh, you yank them out a bit and they come back. Okay, well, we'll see how that goes. I don't like the way the tips, they feel cheap. They feel kind of cheap. I mentioned it was $36, right? Oh God, I feel like I've immediately made a mistake. All right, so this is what they look like on, I guess, the I didn't even say the name or anything on here. That's the where'd it go? The Bluenin BBH 930 is the model name number thing. And these, well, okay, so let's get it out of the way right now. Sound sucks. Okay, the audio on these is not good. I mean, the speaker part on top here is just very tinny. There's like no bass to be had. Mids are pretty much drowned out by the highs. So you're just listening to very tinny, crappy speakers sitting near you. They don't sound good. You could probably just get a better regular Bluetooth speaker that won't be right next to you at all times, but just sound better. So as long as you're not walking around places that you're going very far away from it, it's probably going to be better to do that. And the actual earbud parts of this are like, I don't know, they're just basic, stupid silicone tip things. If you like these, they're probably fine, but audio quality wise, you can just get a super cheap pair of like earbuds like this, and they'll sound like that, and you could probably save more money and have it be better. I don't know, like there's not. I mean, they sound slightly better. You get a bit more bass if you get them to fit well. I switched tips and it was very difficult to do, and it still didn't work very well. And the mic on this thing, which I believe if I can find it here, the mic is like these little, like a couple little holes in this thing over here. I think that's the mic. So if you're facing this way, it's louder than if you're facing this way. And it sounds like this.
This is just a quick test, I guess, of the Neckbuds to see if they sound. I don't know what the mic is. I think it's on the one side and not the other side. I think it's on the right and on my left. But this is what it sounds like when you just kind of talk into it, like normal, I guess. So we'll see what that does and if that sounds like anything that you would want to listen to.
And it's terrible. It's awful. Part of it's Bluetooth audio, I guess, but some of these other ones sound better than this. This just sounds like crap, even though it's like not way back here, but I guess because it's still down here under you, or just because it's cheap crap and it's buried in here. I don't know. So they're bad. They're just pretty bad. Not entirely. I mean, oh yeah, I was gonna quick show a little sample of this because I can. If you turn it on, if you have it on with the speakers, Oops.
Power on. Pairing.
It's very loud.
Connected.
So you probably want to have it on the earbud mode when you're turning it on, because it does that every time. And see if you can hear the audio. You get the idea. It's bad.
Power off.
Thanks. It played me, so I don't get a copyright claim. There's like no bass or anything. So these are one of the few things I can at least show you a bit of that to kind of hear. You're hearing the speakers through this mic. You're not missing a lot. I promise. The few things I will say that are nice about this, though, it is fairly comfortable to wear. Like this. I think like there is something to that, of like, it's not like around my ears or head or anything at all. It's just kind of sitting here. I don't have to do anything to really adjust it. It's just kind of here, and it hangs out pretty easily. Doesn't feel like it's going to fall off or be weird or anything. So I think the form factor for something sitting here, not bad. And also they pull out like this or whatever. I mean, you still have to hit a switch to switch them between the two things, like back here. But like, you pull them out, like, oh yeah, they kind of have a section things you do this. And you're like, oh no, they're longer now, and whatever. And like when I'm done with them, you just kind of pull them out like that. Yeah, you just pull them out here, and then that could be useful if you like these style of earbuds to be able to switch on the fly. There's something to that. There's probably a niche audience, and for like, I mean, it's not going to work for calls, I guess, with this particular set, because again, the mic is terrible. Take this terrible mic audio plus terrible just way stuff sounds over the phone anyways, the degradation there, and it's going to be a nightmare of people being like, huh, what? I don't know what you're saying. I can't understand you. But conceptually, if you liked these, and they had better sounding ones, and they had better speakers on here, and the microphone was better, this could be useful. I don't know if it would be useful for me, but I could see it at least being a decent concept with the proper, equipment and audio to back it up. So I'm surprised that I don't totally hate it like I kind of thought I would. It's more promising than I was expecting. So there's at least that. Yeah. Bone conduction. So I never really used a pair of bone conduction headphones. But if you're unaware of like how these work, essentially what happens here is that you kind of put these like near your ear, and what it does is it keeps your ear free to hear stuff around you, and instead it sends the vibrations like through the bones in your head, so that you hear the music that way, so that people around you don't necessarily really hear your music because it's vibrating inside of your skull or ear bones or whatever the fuck. And then like it's also good because you can keep your ears unobstructed, so you can still hear stuff around you. And like that I don't know, like I guess I'm curious to see if that would be at all comfortable or good. Again, I'm not expecting the world out of these particular ones, but for $30, these are also the I guess I didn't say the brand of the last thing, did I? These ones are MZYMI, it looks like. MZYMI, whatever. That doesn't really matter that much, I guess, because I mean, like, oh god, I can't imagine these are going to be amazing. They sure list a lot of stuff. It's also a headset, I guess, so I guess we'll have to have audio on it too. But yes, they're also supposed to be good for like working out, because they can stay on like tighter and like push into those without being like super uncomfortable either, and it's just harder for them to like fall off and stuff. So yeah, let's open this up here. Is this gonna show up on camera? Some of these things are a little goofy, like the microphone call just says support. I don't know what that means. I don't know what lightweight body, no bondage, no load long wear without pain. What, no load long wear? What? Why is load in there? Ooh, it's a slide-off box. It'll slide off the thing. In theory, these two pieces come apart. They're too lightweight to even drop the box off them. Fuck! I'm scared to close that now. Oh, what? So they come with earplugs. So I guess that's one way of giving you noise canceling is you can just use earplugs with them. Now the noise is canceled. Wow, how innovative. Here's the manual thing. Here's a cable. It does look like most of these things are using USB-C at least, so that's good. We've got the bag. It's actually in the bag right now. Oh, and see, this looks like a real bag, like that you would put a thing in, that you would want to like keep. If that's not garbage. That's not a I'm gonna throw this away bag. Ew. I don't like the way this feels already coming out of here. Oh god. Anything else hiding in that bag? No. No, it's good. Those are the things. I guess these sort of work as like ear clippy things too, because they'll clip onto the ears. But yeah, these are gonna, I guess, sit next to my ears on these parts. And then, yeah, it's a little rubbery. It's supposed to be like kind of sweat-proof, waterproof for all the hard exercising I'll be doing. And yeah, there's the branding on there. I don't even know if you're gonna be able to fucking see that. If it's gonna focus at all. But it is there, believe me. Yeah, it's just really hard to see. They've not made it super bold on there. Yeah. So, I'll, you know, I can't imagine it's going to be great for either listening or for a microphone, but we'll see what happens, I guess. Oh, bonus here, I found a hack. If you leave part of the bag outside of it, then you can keep this a little bit open so it's easier to get the box back off later. Maybe. That's, yeah, you're welcome for the free tip. Okay, so yeah, they're the bone conduction ones. I don't know how much I buy that this is because they seem to rattle, you know, around and make noise even when they're not on my head yet. So I don't know how much it's bone conduction and how much is a speaker. They do rumble a lot on the ears. You see, they're not like totally like in, like they kind of sit around here. But I feel like the closer they are to being like in the ears, the better they sounded. So that's also weird. Also, like, can you hear this? That like, it's like a metal twang hitting. It's like metal things on here. And I mean, comfort wise, they're fine, I guess. I don't know if they fit quite right. I don't know where the actual spot is. Also, a lot of extra like space in the back there, so I don't know. It's not like really adjustable. You just kind of like fiddling around with it, but they don't feel super uncomfortable, even though I have glasses hanging out back here too. So they're okay for that. I mean, I didn't really use the controls on them or anything either, but like, here's the thing, okay, right? The sound. That's the thing, is the sound is, so like, depending on where they're positioned, it can be a little louder or quieter, and what's weird is that bass is happening, but like, because you can feel them rumbling around. In fact, if it gets really bassy, they kind of like, almost sound like they're clipping. It's kind of nuts. While still keeping your ears open to hear stuff, which is nice, but if you want more bass, that's why they give you the earplugs, and you shove those in there, and then you can't hear around you, which is the advantage of having bone conduction kind of in the first place. But then you get more bass in there when you do it, so it does exist. They're a little on the quiet side also. Again, without these, they're a lot quieter. So I don't know, like, at that point, if you're using earplugs, why not just get, headphones that actually go in your ears or over your ears or something that work that way? Why get ones that don't? And also, like, the only other bit, I guess, is to say the mic, which sounds like this. Alright, so I'm just going to try testing this out, I guess, see how this sounds. Talking fairly normally at them, around them, with them on my head. I don't really know where the mic
hole is, I think it's facing out away. So I don't know if it's really gonna work, but we'll see. Well, we'll hear. Well, you'll hear. Well, I'll hear first, and then I'll put it in the video, and then you'll hear after watching the. I'll stop.
It's not bad. Surprisingly so. Again, it's somewhere back here. One of these has like a hole in them, and I can't see them while they're on my head, and I can't take them off while I'm recording this. Yeah, I can. I'll just do it. I believe the mic is this on this one. But yeah, they're not the most adjustable or anything, and they're just. I'm not a big fan of this whole thing. I think that they're comfortable enough. I don't know if they would stay on my head working out with how they had sort of a loose fit that way, and if you get them to better fit, then they're like not in the ears. They're even further away from my ears if I do this. And then they're even quieter, and then it's just like, I'd rather just have headphones, real headphones, or just not bother or something. These just seem like a weird medium that I don't like. I'll be fair and say that maybe actual good bone conduction headphones might be able to like not emit as much noise outside of them, fit better, and then also give me better sound by being stuck on my head in the correct spot wherever it's really supposed to be. But these just don't feel like they're it, and I'm not a fan. And oh yeah, these things, like, good luck hitting these controls, and they're just like sitting on your head weirdly without making them fall off. I don't even know if they would stay on from the way how loosely they're fitting on my head. If I would run in this fantasy hypothetical scenario where I would run anywhere, they would fall off my head. So yes, also I found out they have the model name is i18 Pro. It's weird that none of these like to say the model numbers or anything, the names of them on the boxes or anything. They only say them in the manuals. I don't know why that is either. That seems to be a really weird trend. But yeah, if you want noise canceling, you have to use earplugs. But if you use earplugs, then what's the point of having the things not be in your ears in the first place? Yeah, I don't know either. We've landed on. I have more questions and answers, and my only real definitive thing is I didn't really care for them. Just gonna quickly add that actually listening to like YouTube stuff of just like talking, or doing like podcasts or something like that, I think, where people are talking, sounds fine. It's fine for that. Audio, the speeches come through well enough and everything. It's really just the whole music thing and the bass situation and that. So I'll give it a little bit of credit there. They also function as a wind chime, apparently. Alright, now hold on. Now, I know these are going to look kind of similar. And you're thinking, oh man, he just got 2 pairs of bone conduction headphones? No. Look at that. Air conduction headphones. You know what that means? I don't really either. From what I can tell, the page on this was actually kind of confusing. This is by Sprouting Sound. By the way, that's the brand. These were $16, so they're even cheaper. But air conduction, from what I can tell, is it's like they basically, this is just an open ear thing that sits next to your ear, but doesn't go into it. It's just meant to kind of hover next to it. So it's kind of like having a speaker just next to your ear. A little speaker. I imagine that won't be great for anything. But I was curious if it would maybe be comfortable. Also, it was kind of some of like the ear clip kind of things. Again, like this design, which, I mean, like, I've used stuff with ear clips before a long time ago. I had a pair of headphones that were kind of like on-ear headphones, but with really shitty metal, like, just clip things that would pinch the hell out of my ears. Hated those. These things look more like round and like they're going to be, maybe still get in the way, like, of my glasses and stuff, but it might be more comfortable at least to have a fair shot. Also, these have a mic on them. That was the other thing, too, is I've never really seen these kinds of things that are kind of like bone conduction or even like earbud things or anything that's like kind of like up just little things kind of on your ears like that have like also the mic that's not supported by an actual headband. I mean, this goes around your neck, but like, so that definitely piqued my curiosity. And yeah, also I think this was weird because like they're mentioning up here quick, the 2 mic ENC noise canceling. So I don't know what ENC is exactly, environmental noise canceling or something. Here's the problem. If it's air conduction, if it's open ear, if this is open, how are you going to cancel the noise? Like, if you're letting sound in, you can't really cancel the sound you're letting in. That defeats the whole purpose. I mean, I guess if it's one mode, if you have it on, it'll do that, and if you turn it off, it won't. I just really doubt that it's going to do that. Even, like, really, really good earbuds and things that aren't, like, you know, with, like, tips that, like, seal around your ears, even they can't really do active noise canceling super well, let alone whatever the fuck ENC is that enhanced is supposed to be better. I don't know. I doubt these $16 ones are really going to do much for that either. But the other weird thing about the page I was kind of trying to mention before is I was looking at the page, and I feel like at some point they must have marketed these as bone conduction, because there were a lot of reviews that if I typed in bone conduction, most of them had almost the exact same phrasing of like, this bone conduction technology allows me to clearly hear, you know, whether they're saying like music or whatever. But it's always like that, like bit was like in like a bunch of these reviews, like verbatim. So I don't know if that was like, you know, a bot or an AI or just paying people to say that or what. But it seems really suspicious. And the only ones that were mentioning bone conduction that weren't that were pretty much people saying, yeah, these aren't bone conduction, they're air conduction. So I guess they're not going to get sued on this one because they've changed it. But I thought that was really weird. The back doesn't yield a whole lot for me other than it's got OVP, OCP, and ESD protection. I don't know what any of those things are, but I'm glad that I'm not going to get those sexual diseases from this. That's good. Also, the charging method is magnetic suction charging. I don't really know what magnetic suction is. I mean, I think is it just a force? You don't usually call that suction, do you? Oh, let's open it. Oh no, I keep damaging the top of my boxes. Oh, does this slide out? It does. See, that's not so bad. Oh. Okay. These are the accessories. Are they going to pull the whole thing out? Oh. I'm trying to just... No, I want to just get the accessories out without pulling everything out. Eee! That was difficult. Accessories are the charging cable, it looks like. So that's lovely. And then we... Okay, this phone is not doing me any favors. Let's get this the fuck out of here. This is not helping anything. It's terrible. Oh, and I had to do it anyway to get to the booklet. Here they are, in all of their glory. They're quite dangly. And there's our little headset. Does that move? It moves this way. It's like that. Oh God. This is it'll be fun at least, but yeah. Okay, well we'll just put that away and put that away and throw that away and see how they are. All right, so these are the air conduction things. Yeah, they do have a model number if you look like in the booklet, and when you go to like sync them or whatever. The model is LK12, so it is kind of nice. I mean, I know it sounds like it's a pretty simple thing, but just the idea that you have something that's not just like Bluetooth headset or something, generic looking thing in your device list, it does something, you know. It's more than nothing, and some of these, a lot of these cheap devices will not even bother to go beyond like Bluetooth thing, and that's it. And I will say, I'm actually a little surprised at this mic here. So it sounds like this. Alright, this is just a quick audio test of the air conduction headset thing. And this is what the mic sounds like when just talking normally. Yeah. That's what it sounds like when you talk to it like a thing. And that is like, I mean, I know it's not like amazing or anything, but this is like a Bluetooth mic, and I just assumed that all of these Bluetooth mics on like headset things like this would suck because they are just not designed primarily to be good microphones first and foremost. They're just an afterthought addition. But I think part of it is actually the fact that most of them are stuck way back here by your ear, whereas this one has a thing that like extends and goes this way. And so like it's not like right at my mouth, but it's a lot closer, so it has less distance to travel and calculate stuff. It also has a weird amount of like noise canceling, it sounds like, which is probably good because this is rubbing against my face constantly as well. It's also a little it's a little wobbly because the stuff that this is on is a little wobbly, but yes, sounds surprisingly good for what it is. So that kind of shocked me. Also, these are weirdly comfortable. They connect kind of like in the back of the head like that, and it's like kind of wrap around, and it's I think so that you can't really adjust them as far as like, you know, any like physical adjustments of like to make something like bigger or smaller or whatever. So you kind of just have to find the spot where you kind of like turn it. So that's why these are angled the way they are, is you turn it so whatever part of your head it will rest on, that's where you'll have it. And then that's why this swivels, is because of that. And this actually has a physical like switch up here. Yeah, I figure that's like not a button, that's a switch to switch your mic on and off. It'll make a sound when you do that. It's also got like a little volume and power button thing is on this underneath here. And the actual sound of these headphones is not surprising, but it's, I guess, a little better than I was thinking, because I mean, they're not really headphones. They're kind of like, they basically, you have just two mini speakers on your ears, so it kind of sounds like that. In the sense of like, the top end stuff sounds good. That's where everything is. The mids are sort of there, but not really. So right away the mids kind of fall out, and like bass, unless there's like a huge amount of bass, you're not really going to be able to tell any bass is there. And any bass that does come through is going to be very tinny bass. It's not good, which is unsurprising because there's no seal and these things are small. So, you know, you're just kind of like trying to get bass out of these. If you smash them in your ear, you get a little bit more, but like, obviously it's going to be super uncomfortable, which otherwise these are actually pretty comfortable though, which is the thing, is that like, yeah, you're obviously sacrificing pretty much all of your bass, and so it's not going to be good for music. It's going to be passable at best. I don't know how well it's going to work as a workout thing, but also like, you know, maybe it fits better if you don't have glasses on also, but they seem to fit pretty well even though I do have these on too. So that's also surprising. They're just like, again, they're very comfortable, and you can hear stuff around you pretty easily because they're open. They're not like totally like in here and closing off your ear. So those are kind of the sacrifices you're making. And I guess this concept has legs. I think if I could get something like this with better audio, both for obviously the actually listening part, and also even the mic having be a little bit better, that's a pretty promising concept for like a hands-free, you know, headset thing. Just kind of have, especially for me, like playing games and stuff, I could like listen to, you know, the audio of my game passively around me while talking with someone on this and have no cables or anything. And if I could get the audio to sound good through the mic, it could all be one thing. That would be kind of cool. So pretty surprised at these. I don't know if I would say you should get them necessarily, because again, the sound quality is a big hit. But if the other features around this of like the comfort, the decent mic, and like the you know, hearing stuff around you thing, if all that's like sounds like it's worthwhile to you, I mean, like, there's something to it. There's something to it. These last ones are going to be the weirdest ones. It's just the front or the back. That was definitely the front. We will give you better life. Enjoy yourselves. Enjoy your sleeping, travel, and napping. Our design provide maximum comfort, not even close to the right word, with minimum weight and volume. Our products will with simple elastic band, which guarantee a perfect fit and adaptation to your head, whatever its size. We very thank you purchase our product. That one wasn't me. We very thank you purchase our product. and love hearing from you if you have any idea with using your product. Okay. It's got 100% shading. Oh, they mean like for the... You'll see. You'll see. So you haven't figured it out yet. This is like a sleep mask thing. This was like about $16. And it's got a sleep mask with headphones in it. And we just got to do it. We just got to figure out what this is. It's maybe going to be smaller than I thought, but I guess it'll expand. It doesn't have to be bulky. It just has to fit over your face. Right? Oh. 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 And I got the red one because it was the cheapest. It was like a couple of dollars cheaper than the rest when I went to get it. And we're just gonna do that. You just wear it on your face, and I guess their sounds come out of the ear area. I guess. Do they? Doesn't feel like there's any thing in here. Oh yeah, there's a little hard point there. A little hard point here. So that must be where all the audio goes. Lovely. And it does come with a bag, but I don't know if it'll fit in this bag. Will it? The thing is bigger than the bag it comes with. Why would... Hold on. I gotta know. Is this gonna actually cram in here properly? Go ahead. Make me look like a dick for saying this. I dare you. I hot dog dare you. Fucking State Fair corn dog dare you. It's not gonna fit. There's no way. You just look at this. If you smash it in here, maybe. Hold on. If you smash it, maybe. It ain't pretty. All right. You got me. I'm a butthole. It fits. And let's see if it's worth all of that hassle. Ooh, it doesn't have a microphone on it, does it? I mean, like, because we don't really need to have a... no, does it? Well, it says wireless headset, so maybe... What does the little manual thing say? Does it say that you have one? Fashion head wearing Bluetooth operation guide. Fashionable. Very fashionable to be wearing this. I want to look fashionable when I'm sleeping in my hotel room. So when room service comes in and disturbs me, they're like, oh, wow. It's a very hip and now face mask / Bluetooth audio player you are wearing. No, I must have a mic because it's talking about incoming calls. So, Jesus, I'm going to have to talk in. Where's the mic? It's going to be, like, buried. Now these Bluetooth are already going to suck for your mic on something that's not designed primarily to be a Bluetooth mic. It's not going to be by my mouth. It's also going to be covered in, like, cloth from the thing. That sounds terrible. This has got to be a disaster.
Alright, so I guess these also have a model number I found out. You have to sync all these to find them out, or look in the manuals. I won't say it on the box. The BT-FAAH. What does that stand for? Bluetooth something. Face something. And, I mean, like... It does, like, an okay job of blocking out light or everything, you know, when you have it on. Like, it's not perfect, but if you're, you know, if you're in a fully lit room, like I have big lights on right now, so obviously this isn't going to block out everything. But, like, it's not too bad. If you're in, like, a normal dark, but not, like, completely dark room, I think it would help. It's not too bad comfort-wise either to have on here. And you have, like, the Velcro strap in the back to, like, adjust it. So, that's nice. And I think it's a little silly that there's the controls like on the head. Also, the mic is up in the head thing up here too, which is weird because it's like you have these different controls, but it's like how am I gonna like know what's what? I have to remember what the order is, and I can barely distinguish buttons on this thing. There they are. They just kind of have little blips. It's not good.
Also, the name of the thing is up here. I don't remember what it says. Sipan. I'll see it in a second. I had to take my glasses off to put this on, which is another issue. Is that like, obviously when you're using this, you're probably going to use this for going to sleep. So you want to put on like a playlist or like a long video or something, so that the audio you're listening to is going to be long enough so you don't have to look at whatever to control it anymore. And obviously, again, like this is going to suck. You're not going to be able to really do much with that. So you want to get that all set up beforehand. But if you do, I could at least see, ironically enough, I could see the like use of this thing for that, because I did listen to some ASMR with it on. I was like, oh, it works. And the what is the name? SYPVRY? Is that an R? SYPVRY? I don't know. Because like, yeah, the inside it looks like you see there's softer stuff than what's the outside, and basically the headphones are just kind of in here, and they sound a lot better than I expected them to. And actually, weirdly, you can get some sound bleed out of here, though. That is a thing you'll have to be aware of. Like, not that you'll want to be blaring stuff out of these anyways, but like, the thing is, like, I just have a little thing queued up here. Our classic, I mean, it's at full blast, so it's not too bad. Well, if you try to turn it up when it's already full. Oh, let me turn it down, let's turn it back up. It does that to beep at you to be like, see? And like, that's super loud in the ears. That beep, it's way louder than any of the sound or anything. It does it at the low end, I believe, too. But this has like, yeah, like I say, like, even though these aren't like in your ears or anything, or they're sitting by your ears, they have weirdly a good amount of bass on them, and you can hear everything. They sound way better than they have any right to, for like how cheap these things are too. Like, I would have expected these to sound kind of like garbage, but like, they actually sound pretty good, which is so weird. You can also see the little thing here of the zipper here to open it up, so you can like take out the electronic bits. I don't know how hard that is to do. I'm kind of scared to do it. They do have the little like USB-C like charging dealio on the end, just hanging out on the outside of the zipper here. But you can open it up, and like take out all of the. Well, I guess you can't take out. Maybe you can. Yeah, it looks like this control panel is like wired in, so hopefully that is waterproof. Because you can't really take that out, but you can at least, I think, take out the headphones and stuff. Sort of. I thought that was the point of opening this up. I was taking things out, or maybe just the liner comes out or something. Because you're supposed to be able to wash it, but I don't know how well it's going to work. I feel like after one wash, this is going to be a problem to deal with. It feels like there's a spot where the headphone goes, but like, I don't know how you. Oh, okay, yeah, you can probably dig these out of here. I think. Maybe. So like, but even so, how do you get the? And even if that could get out, because it feels like I could get it out, how do you get this top part out? I didn't, maybe the manual said. I haven't seen. It looks like this is really just really adhered in there completely. It's really sewn in, so I don't know. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, you can take it out through the side here, so they're just making it really hard to accidentally do, to make it more malleable, but you can like yoink this stuff out when you want to wash it. It seems like it would probably be a bit of a pain to fish everything back into here correctly to redo it. But you can do that. And then just leave the little cord out. And this actually doesn't hit me in the head or anything when I'm using them. So, like, yeah, I'm surprised. Oh, yeah, the mic. Like I said, the mic is weirdly in this thing. And it sounds like this. Alright, so I think it's on and recording normally. It's hard to say when it's like a sleep mask. And it's like, how do I know? How do I know if I can't see what I'm like talking into, if anything's happening on the screen? But this should be about regular, normal for the thing, I guess. And it also sounds better than I expected. I mean, it's not like it's an amazing microphone or anything, but especially for something that's probably buried somewhere in here. But like, again, for headphones and a mic on something this cheap, buried in fabric, they sound surprisingly good. So I'm shocked. I don't think I would really use this because I sweat all the time. So I would just put this on my face and I would be sweating to death trying to sleep. But like, if I was gonna like, if I was sick or something, or like super cold, or I don't know, something like that. Maybe some niche scenario where this would come in handy. And this comes in different colors and stuff. And, this is a Velcro thing on there. It's, I don't know, like this is again surprisingly better than I thought it would be. I just really did not expect this, even in the slightest. Well, what have we learned from all of this? Well, a few things, I guess. One is that primarily the takeaway from this whole thing, if you get nothing else out of this, just realize that I figured out that I just really like my over-ear headphones. On-ear stuff is like okay, but I really just like my ears kind of engulfed in the ear cups and things like this. So, I mean, these other things are probably good if you really want to keep your ears free and hear stuff around you and all that, but I rarely want that unless I'm like, out walking or something, and if I have that, I want something that fits in my pocket. You see these things? These suck. These are just not going to replace my AirPods that are just, way more comfortable, sound way better, and there's no way. The case is better, it's just better in every way, other than, I guess, the price is higher, but that's because everything else is good. I guess this headset, I will say I like this. I'll probably, I don't know if I'll keep the ears on it, because I don't know if I need the whole cat ear thing, but I really like the RGB on it. It actually looks really nice, especially going through here and a little bit on the mic and everything. That looks cool. I like it. And the white, I don't know, it does look neat, and it sounds okay. It's not great, and it's not great that you have to use the USB separately to make the lights go on, and it does nothing for the mic or the headphones, although, I mean, to be fair, I do have this shot set up with that just plugged into like a wall thing, so I'm getting the lights on this even though I'm not really, using the communications for it, so I guess there's something to be said about that. And also that is probably going to replace my other headset here, this V10 headset that I have. Am I in the shot? I'm trying to look at where I'm trying to do this while not looking at the viewfinder thing. And this thing is, not that different. These cups are smaller. This probably, I don't know, it sounds probably somewhat comparable, maybe a bit bassier, but the only thing I will say is that the V10 has the ability to plug in, oh god, I'm screwing up everything on my shot, either via USB, or you can actually disconnect the USB thing here, other end, and then that's gone, and then it just connects through the 3.5 millimeter. So like you have options, and that's cool. I like having those options, but at the same time, how often am I going to really take advantage of that? And if I'm going to get the same audio from that, as long as I'm connecting it to something with an audio jack, it's fine. I'm probably just going to have these replace my V10 because, again, like the aesthetic is probably worth maybe a lateral move in sound. It looks nice, okay? That's kind of the thing. This is just replacing my my unnecessary V10 headset. Yeah, I mean, like, these, I think, again, like, I'll say quick that these show promise. Like, I could probably, oh god, what's this? What, something fell off of something that's off the V10 ones, or, let's get that out of there. I feel like, if you want to be able to hear stuff around you, these are all, like, a lot of these are good options. I think that the sleep mask has some merit for people who really need to listen to audio when trying to go to sleep and also want to have their eyes covered. I think that the neck thing could be nice for having it around you. It's a portable speaker type thing. I think that the bone conduction, even the air conduction, do have some merits to them. And like I could say, I could live out of on-ears if I got some better ones that were not tiny and ridiculously cheap like these. I think a lot of these are like, I don't find those comfortable at all, but that's just me. I don't think any of these are necessarily terrible ideas, but they're just very clearly not for me. I'm just going to stick with my trusty old handy-dandy, my Sony MDR 7506 headphones for most things. My AirPods for when I'm out walking. And I will add, as an ending bit here, with the PC38Xs that I brought up here, like I say, I don't really care for the sound on these, but I don't know if I don't care for the sound on these because, I don't like open backs and the way they make something sound louder or quieter, or if it's just because of this particular headset. So what I would throw out there for you guys to mention to me is recommend, if you know of like a headset or even just headphones or whatever, open backs that have really good, the really good audio and sound stage, and they sound really nice. Give me some options to try that are like, reasonably priced. And if you're an audiophile who doesn't understand, when I say reasonably priced, I mean like $100 or less, because I don't want to spend a ton of money. These were already like $200 or something, and I got them like half off, and it's still a lot. So yeah, something within that price range has a good sounding open backs. I would be open to at least trying at least one other pair, if not a couple, just to see if I can get into the sound and to see if it's like the actual kind of sound that I don't like versus the particular flavor of these headphones. I'm at least open to that idea. Hopefully this video was somewhat interesting. And also, I guess I'll add, if there's any other kinds of headphones you want to see me wear and try out that are different than these types, whether it's it's a type of listening or just a different kind of design or something that you think would probably work for me, someone who is really into, these other things that I showed you, the Sony things, the AirPods, whatever. If you think you can find something that would fit me that's in a different kind of style, or something that's really good in a similar kind of style as that's going to give me something I'm not already getting, absolutely recommend it, and I may make a video on it if I have the funds and the interest at the time. So definitely say that stuff in the comments if you got ideas. If not, then whatever. Hopefully this was at least kind of fun. I know you couldn't really do a lot because I don't have anything to really shove the audio to you unless I tried to clamp headphones on a microphone. It's not going to work. I don't have any super things that are like ears that replicate the listening of a human ear thing. I don't have the hundreds or thousands of dollars to get that audio set up to then be compressed through YouTube and everything anyway, so you won't necessarily super hear that. Whatever. But this was, disappointing. Not as cool as, I was really hoping for more really good surprises out of this video, and just, most of this has just been no, I bought a bunch of cheap headphones, and I got pretty much what I paid for, and I also don't really like the styles of most of them, so that's on me. Hopefully you liked it, and I this is my my next audition to be the pair of hands talking to you on YouTube guy. So if you want me to be one of those, this is, I know my face was earlier because I had to show them on my head, but if you ignore that, this is my audition. Ta-da! How'd I do? Would you shake that hand? Yeah, I'll get out of here. Woo! Really lazy, not bothering to move my camera shot. Just to say that this one, I lied about accidentally. This is actually not using USB-C. It's using micro USB. And this one with the headset on it and wiggly woobs also charges with this magnetic dealio. So that charges somewhere on it. There. See, just it's like that, specifically that way. Maybe I'll splice these in where they're appropriate. Maybe I won't. I don't remember. Maybe I'll put them at the end of the bonus. I don't know. There it is. The keen-eyed observer among you may notice that the sticker has been moved. So they just put Onitoon sticker on this thing that's in Onikuma Gaming thing, but they left the symbol. So I don't know if it's actually the same company with a different name slightly, that was their solution to sell under the different brand, or what, or if it was just I don't know. But I also just noticed up here that this says this while I'm recording this, that professional gaming headset sounds fine, but also game like one possessed? What the fuck? If I wear, am I cursed for wearing this? Alright, let's do the pocket test. Oh, I'm just gonna get out my earbuds. Oops. Oh. Okay, fair enough. They don't appear to be damaged. Or anything. I mean, other than this little bit here is about it on the front. Cool. Oh, that did it. Okay, well, so they're not throw-proof.